Hello, my loves. I have a channeled message for everyone. This one's not as pretty as the last one I put out. I'm doing this without a script. I usually write them down first, and they want me to just kind of let this flow. And I'll be using some of my experiences in the past few days to kind of explain, validate. I'm not entirely sure. Provide examples. Um, but the world's soul, all of us on Mother Earth and Mother Earth herself has been going through massive upgrades. We, and the world's soul has been getting energy activations throughout the entire spring and summer. It all finalized on the last equinox that happened, and we are now integrating everything that's going on, everything that got sent to us from the universe. And there's a lot of people who are starting to see massive shifts. There's a bit of chaos going on. There's sleepless nights. There's extremely vivid, chaotic, or confusing dreams. Um, there's mixed messages, old lessons that seem to be resurfacing for a lot of people, and a lot of people are just plain feeling off. Um, this is all completely normal. This is all part of the growth spurt that we are all experiencing, everyone on the planet and every life form on the planet, to include the planet herself, is going through these shifts. And as we all integrate um, the activations and the wonderful energies that came down to support us and help us all ascend, there is upheaval, there is tumultuousness, there is chaos. Um, I know for me, Murphy's Law has been in effect for, well, quite some time, but the last 3 days, especially for me. Um, and a lot of it is designed to, one, we do get tests. We do. Everyone goes through them. It's kind of like the final exam before you graduate to the next grade, or then moving on to, um, well, a next semester in school, or however you want to look at it. A lot of it is that way because we get, hey, okay, here's what you've learned, and let's see where you've grown. So we're going to throw some stuff at you to trigger you, to see, well, how well do you handle it? Have these lessons stuck, or do we need to revisit something? If they have stuck and you have shown progress, one, we're proud of you. Two, hey, let's move on to the next level. Some of it could very simply be, you know, okay, you kind of wobbled over here. So we're going to keep working in this area. However, on this one, man, you did excellent. Now this area, we're going to level you up. We still have a little work here, but you're ascending over here. So, because ascension is not linear by any means. It is not just a straight up. It is definitely like a roller coaster. Most of our growth is like a roller coaster, and it's cool. It's crazy. It's frustrating. Um, this is the time to take care of yourself, show yourself kindness, compassion. Um, One song that popped into my head this morning that they gave me is called Beth, from a band called Rivers Rain City Drive. And the song is called Talk to a Friend. Some of the lyrics, I do not own the rights to this, but some of the lyrics um, say, I know everything I have ever done wrong. That kind of memory won't let me move on. Um, Step inside, this is my confession. I let resentment turn into a deep depression. I spent the next 5 lines to asking bad questions. How could I hit rock bottom, never learning a lesson? Do I deserve this hurting? If my body goes limp, would I float to the surface? Or can I live in a world with no purpose? How could I change when I'm still the same person? We're always changing. That is the beauty of it. And the chorus of this song, because it is not all dark, is I went and talked to a friend the way I talked to myself. And that's been a lot of my stuff, a lot of my lessons. And my guys use music and a whole bunch of other ways to get through to me. That's a part of being clairaudient. And um, well, the biggest takeaway for that part is you deserve to talk to yourself the same way that you would talk to your best friend. Your best friend's going through some stuff. What are you going to tell them? Now look in the mirror and tell yourself that. It's hard. It can be very difficult, um, because a lot of us are ingrained to, well, serve others, take care of others before we take care of ourselves, because that's being selfless. Well, you got to take care of yourself too. You cannot pour from an empty cup, period. Um, that's where setting boundaries comes in. For those who struggle with boundaries, it can be very difficult. It can actually feel selfish, and it's not, especially if you develop the healthy boundaries and then maintain them. Um, this is where strength comes in, finding your inner fortitude. Um, you're working on your self esteem, your self awareness, becoming aware of triggers, uh, becoming aware of patterns, how you've reacted in the past, how you're reacting now, what emotions are associated with some of these, and what thoughts come with them. And how can we actually shift them just a little bit to make everything a little bit smoother, to shift your perspective, be like, why is this happening to me? No, no, why is this happening for me? What can I learn here? Because the last few days, technology would glitch. I wouldn't be able to get the stuff done that I was trying to get done for work or for anything, any of my projects. Um, I wasn't sleeping well. I couldn't remember most of my dreams. I knew I was dreaming. I wasn't sleeping good at all. Um, Kids feeling under the weather, me feeling just waves of exhaustion, sometimes even hunger. And I'm pretty sure my guys were like, so are you going to get hangry today? No. um, a whole bunch of little things that happen. Oftentimes, life happens. You know, it's not all the universe saying, "Oh, you're out to get me." No, a lot of this stuff happens anyways. Either whether we do it to ourselves or just stuff. But our guides will use that as uh, fuel for these lessons, or they will capitalize on it and be like, "So, what'd you learn here?" Grr. um, this is all completely normal and a part of the leveling up process, because we have to learn how to handle our stuff, how to, um, well, find emotional stability, emotional balance. How do we even find balance within ourselves, let alone within our work, rest, adulting, play cycle? Um, and everyone's different. Everyone weathers these little storms differently. Sometimes they're really big storms. Um, Trust that this is all a vehicle for growth, for clearing out the old to make room for blessings and abundance. They are planting seeds within you saying, hey, this awesomeness is going to grow. You are going to thrive. Um, they wanted me to give an example. My husband had some really interesting dreams last night before. Um, he and we played Dungeons and Dragons, we play World of Darkness, tabletop role playing games, just to have fun, cut loose, do something other than mindlessly watch the TV. And we find connection there. We find fun and creativity. Well, in his dream, we all were, us and our kids, were at a castle owned by a Count Strahd, or whatever his title is. I forget. We played that campaign a while ago, last year or the year before. And we were being housed there, protected. And then him and I would go out and hunt monsters, darkness, or whatever. But every time we went out, every single day, we'd be something different. Uh, Shapeshifted into some random weird animal. The most memorable one for him was a fish swimming in the air, not water. We were a literal fish out of water. And it was like, okay, so what you gonna do? How are you gonna defeat that? How are you gonna overcome that when you're itty bitty, or when you're a fish, not even in your own element? How are you gonna adapt? How are you gonna be flexible? And how are you gonna overcome that? What you gonna do? And every single time, um, it wasn't me that was with him. It was one of the guides, and it was all about, well, no matter how stressed, no matter how small you're made to feel, uh, no matter if you even feel like you're completely out of your element. Adaptability, flexibility, shifting in perspectives to see what can I do differently or how can I act differently, or, well, what can I do? What's my strengths? What are my strengths to be able to do this, regardless if I feel this way? And every single time he adapted, he overcame. And they wanted me to share that with you. One, to show that, the dreams usually have meanings, especially if you remember them. And two, that is a message saying that no matter what gets thrown at you, you will not only adapt and overcome, you will not just survive. The time for surviving is done. It is time to thrive. And you are there. You are going through it. It's here for you. You just got to get over these little humps, and it won't be all smooth sailing. It never is. Growth is always a process, but you will overcome this and you will thrive. Abundance is coming. Now, for my personal examples, they wanted me to share for me because I wasn't sleeping well. I wasn't remembering. That was on purpose. They wanted me to consciously get a lot of my input. So for me, the last 3 days has been a lot of the negative self-talk. My guides, let's see, Cernunnos, Saturn, Amun-Ra, and Archangel Uriel have been the four primary that have been, in my ear, being the grumpy, discouraged, male grr figure. Like, you're not doing the right thing. How dare you? You need to do it my way or the highway. And there were a few times where I'd flip them off or tell them to go F off. Yeah, I did that to Saturn, and he gave me a hurt look. First, it was a look of shock. Insert emoji right here, and then he's like, oh, "I can't believe you did that." Fine, I'm leaving. Acting just like that, and then all the visuals and the auditory kind of went away, and I felt essentially like I was getting a side hug. And I got the overwhelming feeling of I don't know why the emotion's coming in, but I got the overwhelming feeling of proud, of, hey, I'm proud of you, kid. You did good. So regardless of how the lessons manifest, it's for growth. It's for a reason. It's not just because stuff is happening to us. There are some things that friggin' suck. And there is free will of others, so we can't account for absolutely everything. But we can shift our perspective on what happens to us, to see, well, what can I learn here? What can I do differently than I've done in the past? Because that didn't quite work out. For me, a lot of the ways that I handle stuff is, well, I've learned to set boundaries. Amun-Ra started actually calling me derogatory names just to see how I'd handle it. Because, conflict on top of being tired and dealing with a whole bunch of other responsibilities. It's just like, I used to want to just pull my hair out and be like, no, 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 I don't want to listen. And, I straight up told him, you know what, you're not going to say anything nice, shut the F up and get the F out. I didn't bleep myself when I said it to him. And, he kind of like was taken aback, like, holy shit, she's actually standing up to me. And then after a little while, I heard the derogatory word again, but very quiet. It's like, you know what? I know I heard that. So I visualized a golden door, and I visualized myself just pushing him out the door. It's like, all right, I warned you, bye. And those visualizations and everything, they're happening on another level. It's not just in here, and they're all designed to Like, hey, this is how you can handle us. We're these super swoopy, supreme beings. How are you going to handle us? Well, if you can handle that, you can handle a little person over there. That the jerk at the office, or, the nosy neighbor, or whatever, the troll on the internet. You can handle them if you can handle me. It took a lot for me to get to that point, but I'm there. And that was part of my testing, I guess you could say. Um, One thing that helps me when I'm in these moments is music. Music pumps me up. Doesn't matter the kind, doesn't matter the genre. Um, One song that came up quite often, besides the really kick-ass songs that make you feel really like a complete badass. Um, One that I really enjoy is from a band called Like a Storm. The song is called Never Surrender. And it speaks volumes on, hey, you know what? I'm not going to give in. I'm going to handle my business like a freaking boss, and I am going to overcome this. Do what you got to do to put yourself in that mindset. Instead of, oh, I don't want to deal with this. Rest when you need to, pump yourself up when you need to. Find different ways. You can do this. We will weather this storm. All of us will. And we are coming into a season of complete thriving, abundance, blessings. Keep focused on your blessings. Keep focused on the good things that happen each day, because even a couple of bad moments does not make for a whole bad day, ever. There's always something good to find. So, thank you for watching. Always remember, you are accepted. You are valid. You are loved.